to day 1 of Anyone Can Do 10 with yours truly, Annette Bridges.
And Monica Satterwhite.
She is going to get us started.
Before we get started, I did want to say one thing, that before you start any exercise program, please check with your doctor. Make sure it's okay for you to do. Make sure you know your issues, whether it's a back injury or any kind of joint injury or whether it is cardiovascular type illness. Please just double check with your doctor, get their approval, and then you can start and get going on your program. So where we're going to start today is some very basic core moves, kind of posture prep, get you going that you can do anywhere, anytime. I love to do these to start either on any kind of exercise program or use them, especially when you're traveling. They're awesome because when we travel, our cores just take a beating. Either we're very lazy or we've been in cars and hotels and all sorts of stuff. So these are very great things that you can do to start and also while you travel. So here we go. There's just 5 basic exercises we're going to do today. And the first one's going to be a bridge. So it basically takes its roots in yoga, and we'll start from there. So Annette, what we're going to do is you're going to be laying on the floor, comfortable position. Feet are going to be on the floor, and Annette is going to lift her hips to the ceiling right there, and she's going to hold 1, 2, 3, and drop them back down. So she's going to repeat this 10 times because this is about anyone can do 10. Nice and easy. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3. Stay right there. Okay. So modifications for this, if you have some back issues, would be not go up so high, just barely pick those hips up off the mat. You can also take those arms out to the side. Instead of down by your side, they can go out by your side, and then that would be called a shoulder bridge. Or as you progress through this and get harder, we can bring those feet in a little closer to the back side, hold those a little bit longer. But anyway, this is your basic bridge where we're starting. Annette, did you do 10 yet?
I've lost count. I think I did.
Okay, close enough. Okay, great. We've done 10 bridges. From there, we're going to take in a little bit more of the core. We're going to activate some of the superficial muscles, but also do some stretching with that. So we're going to do something I call an in and out. You can call it all sorts of things. So basically, Annette is going to bring her knees into her chest. She's going to hold. She's going to tuck that chin in. And then as she releases out, because Annette can do it, she's going to straighten those legs out all the way and bring her hands over her shoulders, over her head. Nice and slow hug. Activate those deep core muscles every time. If you have low back issues and you need to modify this, then here's what you would do. So on the next round, there you go, you would drop your feet to the floor first, slide your feet out, and then slide your feet back in and hug them. So do a few more just like that, and then drop your feet to the floor, slide them out, and then slide them back in. Another modification for that, if you have some issues in your low back, would be do one leg at a time. Come in, bring one leg in, then drop it down, and then the other leg in. A few more. Let's get to 10. Awesome.
I got to do a better job of counting so I don't do more than 10.
Because that would be a crime.
Yes.
Okay, so far we've done bridges and we've done in and outs, just a little bit of core activation. Also, if maybe some of you don't realize, Annette has had issues in her tissues over the last couple of years from her feet to her shoulder, and there was a point in time Annette could not lift her arms over her head. It was too painful. So if you're in that position, then maybe don't do the hands over the head. Just stop right there and do the tucking, chin tucks, tucking the chin into your chest and bringing the knees in, and then as you extend your legs out, just leave your shoulders or your head or your chin in. It's up to you. Just start where you're at and progress from there. Okay, so exercise number 3 we're going to start working on is our hip rotation. So we're working on taking those knees side to side. So once again, because Annette does not have any low back issues, she's going to keep those knees bent. She's going to take those feet up off the floor, and she's going to slowly lower her hips to one side. Very slow, activating the deep core muscles, and then slowly coming back up and sliding over to the other side. Nice and easy. Really increasing that rotation around the spine. Breathing while we'll do that. We didn't even talk about breathing. If you're holding your breath, this is not a good thing.
I think I was.
Nice and easy. So if maybe Annette had some low back and hip issues and we wanted to modify that, then Annette, let's show how we do the modification. You would drop your feet to the floor and then very slowly rotate your hips from one side. Hold, pause, 1, 2, 3. And back over to the other side. Always going very slow, making sure you're not using momentum to get back and forth through this, but actually using those deep core muscles to do the work for you. Strengthening, lengthening, and increasing mobility. Okay. Have we done 10 yet?
I don't know.
here, we're going to finish up with our last 2 exercises, and those would be a plank. So we're going to go ahead and start on her side. So pick one side or the other that you'd like to go to, Annette. Okay. So on the starter plank, side or side bridge, whatever you want to call it, Annette's going to have her knees bent, and her shoulder, her elbow is going to be right under your shoulder. I know you can't really see this in the video. Just make sure if you're doing this for safety of the shoulder, you're going to make sure elbow right under the shoulders you're laying onto it. Her top hand ideally is going to be on her hip, but maybe if this is too hard for you and you need a little extra hand work, okay, but ideally hands on the hip. So what Annette is going to do is lift her hips up off the mat. Awesome. And come back down. So just like in the bridges we did earlier, we want to pause at the top. We want to make those muscles fire. So come up on it and then hold right there. 1, 2, 3, and back down. If you catch yourself sliding down your mat and that elbow gets away from that shoulder out from under, make sure you come right back under. Now, Annette, let's show on the version that if you're a super stud athlete and you can do this, you straighten those legs out. This is a great test because of Annette's shoulder issues. So now pick that hip up off the mat. Can she do it? 1, 2, 3, and back down. Great job. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch sides.
Sliding. Okay.
Okay, so just to repeat, that shoulder's right under her elbow, top hands on her hip, knees are bent. If you're in starting position and pick that hip up, hold right there. 1, 2, 3, back down. Great. Okay, now let's show them how you do on this side. Straighten those legs out. Let's see where Annette is since the last time I worked with her.
This is my bad arm.
And this is her bad shoulder. Here we go. Coming up. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Good try. One more time. Hold. Good job, Annette. Okay. So far we've done bridges, we've done in and outs, we've done hip rotation, we've done side planks, and now we're going to do a real plank. So we have a lot of options on this plank. You start where you're at. So Annette's going to start face down. Let's say head maybe this way.
Okay.
And she's going to use her elbows and starting on her knees. If you have knee issues and you cannot put pressure on them, we've got a lot of modifications. You can roll up a towel to put under your knees, or we can do some different things. So for Annette, she's on her elbows, and she's just picking her shoulders, her whole body up off the mat, so she's supporting her core with her knees and her shoulders. So Annette, since we're doing anyone can do 10, Annette's going to count to 10 very slowly, right, Annette?
Uh-huh.
And see if she can hold it. And of course, Annette's doing awesome because she had an awesome trainer that still taught her deep core muscles, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a break from there. So once I said, if you have knee issues and you can't do this, first modification is put a towel under your knees. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take it to a full plank. So if you have no problems and you can do this, you're going to pick your whole body up off the floor, and she's using all of her body weight between her elbows and her toes. And she made it about 2 seconds.
So, when you can't do 10,
do 2. Okay, show it one more time. Here you go. Come up into a regular plank. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. And then let's show them one more modification, maybe even 2 modifications if it's okay with you, my little trooper. So from here, she's going to come up into what's called a yoga plank. So this time she will be on her hands and her toes. Some people, this is a little bit easier if they have a back issue. So to make it easy for you, let's see if we can get those hips down just a little. Perfect right there. Hold.
Oh my goodness.
Looks amazing. And then the other option would be start with a bench or a chair in front of you. Maybe you're right here and you can do a standing plank. So it would look more like this. So you could start here. A lot of people, if we're not going so low to the floor, they can handle it. And then as they get stronger, holding right here in their core, we can modify and go down to the floor.
That's cool.
Alrighty. So that's our first.
Okay.
Anyone can do
First
10.
day. First day. We will be back. I will be back.